Hey guys, welcome to the Go to Game show. This is episode 9. This is where Jack and I get to catch up every week with each other and have a chat because in this new world, this is the only chance we get to sort of catch up and talk about everything that's going on in the gaming community and what we've been up to in the last 7 or 8 days or so. And every week we're joined by another guest. This week, the one and only Panda TV. How's it going,
Hello.
brother?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Hello, both of you.
Good day, mate. Look at the panda head in the background. I actually only just noticed that. We've been speaking for like 20 minutes as well.
5.5 foot, massive.
It's huge.
It was Nat's kid's birthday. He turned 5 the other day, so there's a weird 5 balloon as well. So,
hey, so like I said before, this is where we get to catch up every week. So, Jack, what have you been up to in the last few days?
Oh, same
Any
as every
GTA
week,
roleplay?
really. Yes. That's literally my answer every week.
Yeah.
Heaps of that. But VR, because I got my VR headset, which has
Yeah.
been weird and fun. Fall Guys, did that the other night. Oh, we got the same one.
Hey,
We should do one of these in VR one time.
we should.
yeah.
Honestly, we should
The
do
whole
a VR chat
podcast.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The entire
VR
thing of
podcast.
chat.
We'll get some people on.
Just do it in just what's the VR chat? Just sit in
VR chat, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Just
go and
have
sit in
little
one of those
hentai people
cafes.
running around.
Yeah. Have the entire show interrupted by bloody Knuckles.
Anime waifus and green gang, whatever the
Love it.
internet's all cool about these days, crazy bastards. But
Yeah.
I played RuneScape on the weekend,
Hey,
first time back in a
you
while.
made the return.
double XP. I've always got to jump on and get
What a great game.
me gains. It's pretty much just World of Warcraft, but like a little bit better.
Oh, shut up.
Oh my god, how to annoy someone that plays WoW? Nah, RuneScape's just a little bit better. Graphics are a little bit better on RuneScape. You know,
The other way to annoy people that play WoW is going, wow, is that thing on League of Legends?
Yeah, bloody League of Legends. You know, I do enjoy League, though. League's good fun. Although I get pretty frustrated now because I don't know if you guys know, but my girlfriend, Natalie, I know you both know who that is, but she used to be like the highest rank you could be in League. So, like, we play together.
really?
And she's really good. And same with like mobile legends and like games on phone, like MOBA games. She gets like really high ranks. So, like, we play together and I know I suck, right?
Yeah.
And I'm real bad at League. But she tries to pretend like I'm not crap, but we both know. We both know I'm real bad.
So she's the one taking the supportive gamer partner and going, oh, I hope you're having fun, dear.
Yeah, she does all the time. She goes, baby, going so well. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you don't patronize me. I know I suck. I'm like 1 in 18 or something like that. And I'm just like, it sucks. No, she's good. She's good.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's mad.
Well, Nat's been a gamer since like, she used to hang out at the internet cafe that like me and Salim and all the other boys used to hang out. But she was friends with like another group of people where like there was like this other group of kids at the internet cafe where it was like there was like the kid that looked like an ICP fan. There was a real short kid. What? Yeah,
that was me.
Yeah, you had a look then. And a couple other dudes. And they were all lovely, but they were just like the other group. And then there was like me and the boys and all the troublemakers and all that sort of stuff. So they were just the other group of kids at the internet cafe. But they're all lovely, right? They're all nice kids. So.
Yeah.
That's mad. But
what else you been up
Fall
to?
Guys.
Anyway,
Fall Guys. Played that like for a little
game,
bit.
Right?
Hey? Oh, it was fun.
Game. Yeah.
I don't know whether it's one of those games that like I would play all the time, but I think like I played it with a couple of people like Pairs and a few others that like I was already in chat with. And then like I feel like it would be like a different experience if you played it with like another group. Like if me and Panda jumped on with a couple of the other guys, like it'd be a completely different experience. Even though it's like the same game and the same map, different groups in Discord.
I always
be different.
found that with GTA Online, my experience playing GTA Online was always different depending on who I was playing with.
Yeah,
like some people were just all about going and doing those raids and whatnot, or the high.
Except for Jack, who's played GTA RP as the same person for the last 3 years.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. But then you all they want to do is fuck around and throw sticky bombs at trains.
And then I just do the same thing almost every day.
I love trying to explain to people. People come in, they ask me, they go, "Oh, what's Jack like in GTRP?" And I'm like, his character is just Jack. Like it's just Jack, but he drives illegally. And they're like, "Oh, is that good?" I'm like, "It's great because he's hilarious." But it's Jack. It's just Jack.
But I have hair in GTA roleplay.
That's true.
Hey.
That's true.
That's it.
You're able to live the fantasy.
Bro, the amount of people now, like, now that I'm like sort of been around the community for a while, and then you get to know all the other streamers and stuff as well. Because at the start, it's just their character. You don't know anything about them. But now it's like, you know their character, but you've watched their stream or, you know, you've chatted with him in Discord and stuff. So now, like, there's all these bald references about, like, even though my character, they're like, oh, I wonder what you'd look like bald. Oh, nah, you wouldn't be bald, would you? I'm like, fuck off, man. Leave me alone. Like, it happens, like, all the time now. And I'm like, God damn it. They're like, oh, I wonder what Shanna would look like bald. Nah, you wouldn't be bald, would you?
Have you thought about growing a mullet? Like IRL?
Oh.
Your hairline doesn't go back that far yet.
Nah, I think it stops about here. I think it's the perfect spot.
So you could just get one of these cranked.
Oh, look at it.
Oh, it's filthy, isn't it?
It's glorious.
All right, I know that was a very different color before you got that fantastic, beautiful Audio-Technica headset.
Yeah.
Was it?
Pink.
Did you go purple?
Very pink.
Did you go purple because of the headset, but?
No, I didn't. But that's a really good plug, and I should use that.
I mean, yeah, I did. I knew.
I went purple for this headset. That's right.
I knew it.
This is all a branding thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll take my money. Thank you.
This mullet was brought to you by Audio-Technica.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a fantastic color, like the headset, of course, but the mullet.
The mullet, yeah,
both.
it's nice, isn't it?
Well,
it was
since
pink.
it comes as a package.
I know. I saw the pink. I saw the picture.
Yeah,
you weren't happy. You didn't seem happy about it, but I know deep down you were excited.
About the pink?
Yeah.
I mean, I have not worn the mullet out to its full extent in probably a month. I've worn a hat out every day or a hooded jumper out.
Because of the pink?
Because of, Mate, well, it's more like
dirty pink though, wasn't it?
It's more like I live in Western Sydney, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm in Queensland. But as you know, Jack, I have a bit of a short fuse, which I'm working on. So if someone's like, if someone was to be like, yeah, nice mullet, dickhead, I would say something back. And then, you know, I don't want to get into a fight over the fact that I have a mullet. I'm 35 this year. I can't be going out and getting into fights.
Who the hell's picking a fight with you, though?
I mean, everyone looks like me. Up in Queensland, everyone's got head and face tattoos. Everyone.
Oh,
it's like the amount of people that I see up here with head and face tattoos is like, far out. Every time we go to the shops, I see at least like 4 dudes that look like me.
Yeah, but how many of them got tattoos past their shirt line though?
Everyone up here is just like everyone's covered. It's just everyone's just covered. Not like Jack going out and getting their hand done, room left on their arm.
Hey.
Hey.
Both of you. Oh my God. Cut it out.
I've got heaps on my arm, but come on.
Finn, do you have anything else on your arm?
It's almost done.
What about up the top?
Up the top, I've got a gap about that far. I know what's going there. I'm actually booked in to go and get something done there. So,
come on. If I wear a singlet, I have my whole shoulder and everything else done. All right.
I know.
Come on.
Next on the list, Panda, is I'm going to get the other hand done, and then my neck, and then nothing else.
Far out. Stressing me out.
So it's the hardcore scene all over again.
Yeah. Oh God. Bring back 19. Oh, it's like 2004 hardcore. Just getting their neck and hands done and nothing else.
It's a long sleeve shirt, even in summer.
Yeah, that's it. Only wear hoodies all year round.
Yeah. But what have you been up to, Ryan? Panda? What have you been doing?
Just playing well. I've actually been playing a lot of other things every night. I'm going back to that. We're sort of at the point now with the expansion where BFA's been out for 2 years as of a couple of days ago. So it's like
really.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like there's not really.
I remember even I played when that dropped. I was like, nah, I'm a WoW streamer.
You should have. It was good. I liked you playing WoW.
It was good.
I saved you that one.
I saved you that one time. I remember. I hit this special, and you were like, "Did you mean to do that?" And I was like, "I actually did," and you were like, "Wow." And I was like, "Yep,
good man."
That just one time. Just one time.
I've just never been able to get into the game. I've got a sealed copy I was given by Blizzard years ago that I still haven't opened.
Are
because
you like an MMO gamer or are
no, I'm
you?
not. And
Yeah,
that
so that's probably
I've just never been able to get into MMOs. I
yeah.
think to me, it's just you've got to invest so much time into it,
Yep. Yep.
and that's probably I'm very much the sort of person that I'll play a game for a few hours and then probably won't touch that same game again for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. See, I'm all about. I like knowing sort of where I'm at versus other people type
Yeah.
thing. Not even in like a competitive way. I just like, I don't know, trying to better my characters in games and stuff like that. And I like it always being there. So MMOs have always been like a thing that I'm a big fan of. And then like obviously, competitive shooting games and stuff like that has always been a big thing for me as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, shooters, I'm absolutely shit at.
What the hell can you play then, Fid?
I love playing one-player story-driven games, bro. That's definitely my thing.
Okay, yeah. I don't really play too many like single player, like I don't know, games these days. The last one I played that I really enjoyed, I think it was called like Hellgate. Maybe is
Okay.
that the one where the psychological game where
I
it had heaps of warnings, or it's like if you have any issues, don't play this game because like
Okay.
Oh, wow.
heaps. That might not be the name of the game, but it was like
I might have to look into that one because I love psychological horror games.
yeah, this game was one of the best games I played in like a single playthrough. It was phenomenal. So
Like Silent Hill and Resident Evil and games like that, I absolutely love those. But then I love one-player games like, actually the last two one-player games that I absolutely loved was Jedi Fallen Order.
Mhm.
That was amazing, and the other one was Outer Worlds.
yeah. I say my opinion sometimes on games that are like I'm not a big fan of turn-based games.
Oh no,
And
I can't
I don't,
stand turn-based.
yeah, so
Yeah, things like you're talking about like Final Fantasy and that back in the
yeah,
day. Yeah,
yeah.
I honestly, to me, when I first ever saw Final Fantasy, I just couldn't get into it because it was so far from reality to me. It was like, right, I'm going to hit you, then I'll wait, and then it's your turn to hit me. It's just, that's not how a fight works.
That's how it works in Pokemon, but so I feel like it's fair.
You'll see, I never got into Pokemon. I just couldn't get into Pokemon. I love the cartoon.
Right. Yeah,
but I
true.
never got into it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Played the last
Yeah,
couple.
no, just been
on my
playing WoW.
Switch.
Just been doing WoW and doing a few other games. So I've been playing lots of random games with Nat. We've been playing like a lot of the 2-player co-op games.
Yeah.
Just really testing our relationship and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think we played one called Bipop, and my God, it's good. It's good. Or it's like you'll need to pick up an objective. Actually, we played a game the other day called Wobbly Life. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
What the
really
hell?
funny. Really funny. Wobbly Life, yeah.
Googling that now.
Yeah. Wobbly Life. It was good. Worth the $12 or whatever it was. So it's a game I'd like to play with Jack as well. So go and buy it, Jack. $12.
All right. I think I got it. I think I can sort that out. Was that on Steam?
Yeah. Wobbly Life.
It's quite a cheap game too. It's only $12.
Realize how many games there are on Steam, eh? Until you
there's
hit
a lot.
like...
That's like one thing that I've been trying to do more lately on stream is like play a lot of like co-op games or stuff like this, but like just the silly ones, the ones where like
silly. This one,
like the ones where you have like a job where you have to like use your character's arms, like like not sort of the same thing as Fall Guys, but there was a game before that where you had to do the same thing where you could like grab people and like drag them and stuff like that.
Oh, the one we all played.
Yeah,
and you got to like move the. You can pick up like the logs and stuff and move around.
You're thinking about Gang Wars, but I think we played a different one. Okay. I can't remember what it was.
I forget what it was. It wasn't Pummel Party, was it?
No, not Pummel Party.
I can't remember.
No, but yeah, I just been trying to play those types of games. It's very fun. So
yeah, that's mad.
Well, this week I decided to take my dormant Twitch account and do something on it.
Oi!
I actually streamed twice. I've streamed twice this week.
Oh,
yeah,
full-time streamer now.
And to be honest, the first stream I completely cocked up my Twitch settings because I've only ever used it for chat and watching and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and so I'd never bothered setting up like my VODs to save or anything like that. So I streamed for like 3 hours, and the entire thing just disappeared into the ether because it's not. I didn't have it saved, but I set it all up again last night and I only streamed for about half an hour just to make sure I had all my settings right. But I had fun. It was actually good being back on stream again. Like I used to stream under our old brand that we used to run, years ago, and went in there with the intention of playing some old retro video games and stuff, and ended up spending half of it watching YouTube videos with the people in chat.
Yeah, that's the format. That's how you grow these days. You just reaction Andy. You just watch YouTube videos. So,
dude, but the funny thing was, is we were watching. I mean, because I grew up in New Zealand, not in Australia, so we were talking about old '90s cartoons at first, and then we started talking about how fucked up Australian kids shows were. And I'd never seen any of these shows, so I was first time exposed to like aggro and things like that. And I honestly, and that Bookworm and your guys' TV shows were messed up.
Aggro was probably the one that was we had that, and then what's Mr. Squiggle? That was a good show.
Oh, Mr. Squiggle's a creep, isn't he?
I actually said on stream, I had no idea who Mr. Squiggle was until randomly I went to Woolies to buy something and got my $2 coin and my change, which had some character on it. I was like, what the hell's this? And I had to ask somebody what Mr. Squiggle was.
Yeah.
Mr. Squiggle's a weirdo. Ferals.
Yeah,
even
Ferals.
Gumby, bro. Even Gumby's a weird one.
Yeah,
I used to have a little little Gumby toy, little bendy guy.
Well, we had a real monk-esque kid shows around here. Did we remember Fat Cat? And didn't he turn out to be a full creepo?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, there we go. Little delivery.
Hey.
There you go.
This stream's brought to you by Uber Eats.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, Carl's Jr., I think. So.
Bro, like, this has happened so many times on our shows that we just don't even worry about it anymore. Like, I was like, I should edit this out and make it all professional. I'm like, but this is life now. Alicia comes in, the kids come in sometimes, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm on the show. Literally, it's 1 hour a week to, like, come into this shed anytime of the whole entire week, whether I'm here or I'm streaming or whatever. But she'll always come in at this time. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, here's the kids. I'll let the dog in. I'm like, what is going on? And then, like, Fid's kids come home. But it's just, it's life. It's how it is
at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, life's quite different for a lot of people right now. So even Matt's working from home. You know what I mean? It's a weird, it's a weird world we live in. So
yeah.
Hey, but while we move on, let's talk about
segue.
You, Panda.
Yes. Why you asked me a
segue.
question? I'm just going to quickly open this bag. Oh, sorry, being loud.
It's so loud.
Sorry about that. That's,
subtle.
My allergies. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. I'm good. I think.
Fantastic.
I was just going to say, Jack, since you know Panda so well, and I mean, I was going to say,
hung out a couple of times at events. He's all right guy.
I was going to say it's probably more of a situation where I've probably got more questions than you do about Panda because you probably know what there is to know about the guy.
Ooh, maybe.
I'm quite secretive.
We might find out some new stuff today about him. Ooh, we can clickbait it. Find out about something.
My first question is, how did you get into streaming, dude?
How did I get into streaming? Long story short, there was so I played WoW in a guild. I played in a guild in WoW called Dara McTire, which was a very big guild, had like a lot of well-known people in the guild already. We were quite well known for like PvP and stuff like that. And when I moved to Canada, because when I just played WoW, sorry, it's not Rona, I promise. I had a chip stuck in my throat that whole time. Sorry. So when I moved to Canada, I was just like an officer in the guild and stuff like that. I didn't really like know about streaming or know what it was or anything. And I'd always played WoW like pretty well and pretty competitively. And then when I moved to Canada, there was an opportunity there for me to do some stuff with a game called Guild Wars 2 that was coming out. And the officers and the people that ran the guild, because they had quite a big YouTube at the time, they were like, hey, are you interested in like trying to go for world first max level in Guild Wars 2? And I was like, all right, I'll do it. And they were doing stuff for YouTube at the time. And then we would all play RBGs in WoW together. And when we were like winning or beating a team in a really big way, I would do like back in the day, I was obviously known for doing accents, and I would just do like funny accents in comms and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, bro, you should really stream, you should do this. And I was like, I don't even know what streaming is, right? I'd never even heard of it. And then one day I was like, I'll start looking at streams, and then Soda Pop and joined or Chance or Thomas, whatever you want to call him. He joined our guild coming from another server, and it was very weird to me because a lot of people were like really trying to like kiss his ass, and I didn't really understand it because I didn't know what streaming was. And I think organically our friendship became a lot stronger because everyone else was like, hey, dude, we got to stream together. We got to play together. We got to do all this sort of stuff. And I came from like a background of touring with quite big bands in the hardcore and metal scene. So me meeting some like 18-year-old streamer kid, it doesn't impress me, right?
Yeah.
Like if I've, got the chance to hang out with these massive bands that I I'm a big fan of, and you can't really like fanboy around them because you're touring with them. I'm not going to meet this streamer kid and I don't even know what Twitch is and be like, oh my God, sign my forehead. So for me, it was like we just started hanging out, and the same sort of things he was saying is like, dude, you should stream. You're very funny and all these types of things. So eventually I took that plunge and I did a couple of streams, and then I got hurt really badly at work, and the opportunity came up for me to stream a little bit more frequently because I had to take some time off. So, and then it was just all sort of steamrolled from there. And
That's worked out all
8
right.
years later, almost 8 years full time, I think. So
That's wild, eh?
So you've always been a WoW streamer, like since day dot?
I originally did a few things for Guild Wars 2, and then I pretty much stayed with WoW, and that's just what I got used to. I just really enjoyed being a WoW streamer. I've always said from like day one, like if there's ever a point where I don't enjoy streaming anymore, it doesn't matter if I've got 1 sub or 20,000 subs. I think I just try to say 10 and 20 at the same time. But
20,
if I've got like 20, it doesn't matter how many subs I got. If I ever stop enjoying this, I'll stop streaming. It's always for a lot of people probably don't know, but I was very lucky. At one point in my life, I got offered a very good job to be a business analyst for a company called AAS, which is Australian Administration Services. I pretty much got like headhunted by one of the guys that runs the company. I was a manager at EB Games, and he sort of yoinked me and was like, "Hey, whatever you get paid, I'll pay you X amount more." And they were letting me or paying for my uni via correspondence and stuff like that. Like I was doing finance at UNSW. And I started working in the superannuation part of the company, and I was doing I worked in death and disabilities, and I earned like really good money. And if I stayed there, I would have earned a lot more money. But I was there for about a year and a half, and I was like, look, dude, I don't want to work here. Like, I hate working here. And I've always sort of had the mindset, whether it's because of the things that I've been through growing up or just the sort of life I've been given, I just want to earn enough to enjoy myself and have like a nice girlfriend and have a roof over my head. That's all I care about, right? I don't mean earn enough because I need money to have a girlfriend, but the point of like having a nice roof over our head or something like that. That's all I need. I don't need to have like $1 bazillion to enjoy myself. Although that would help. So if you guys want to put my donation link in this bio, so I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But
can do.
Yeah, it's like I just want to like, I don't know. When I worked in that office environment, it wasn't because of not necessarily an office environment. It just wasn't something that I could see myself doing. And I through the things that I've seen growing up, I don't want to work in an office for the next 50 years and then retire. Right.
Yeah.
And it was, not something. And I was working like death and disability. So you're literally dealing with like.
Not the most positive job.
Yeah, you're dealing with like lawyers and solicitors every day, dealing with death claims and all those types of things. And I wasn't meant to stay in that department for a few years. I was moving on to other parts of the company, but still, it was like and this is years before I knew about streaming. I didn't even know what streaming was. Just in case someone thinks I went from like doing that to being I'm going to live my life of being a full-time streamer. No, that's not the way. I worked in security and retail for years and all those types of things. So I just wanted to enjoy my life, I guess. And if I ever stop enjoying my time on Twitch, I'll stop. Simple as that, right? So, yeah.
So you've managed to travel the world quite a bit doing what you do as well. And through myself, of course, knowing Jack, one of the things that I have very much picked up is you've got a super passionate love for Korea as a country, right?
Yeah, a bit of a Korea boo. I've heard the term. I think is
where did that love come from?
Well, I grew up with mostly Koreans, right? So I'm from like Western Sydney. So I'm trying to put this straw in my drink, and it is.
Yeah.
I got it.
Bet you it's a paper straw.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's good.
Hey.
That's what you want.
See you later, Dolphins. Get wrecked.
I just got a message that my Oporto's at my door, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, if there's any Dolphins listening, I apologize. No, so for me with the whole Korea thing, so I grew up in like Western Sydney. You know, I moved to Sydney when I was 14 years old. And I went to Canterville High School. So I grew up in like Cabramatta when Cabramatta was Cabramatta. These days it's not as bad or anything like that. So my high school, there was, I think, 1,500 kids, and there was 5 Aussies total. Yeah. So there was like a kid named Kevin. Yeah. So there was like Kevin, some girl named like Sandy or something, and then 3 other kids in like older grades. But I was quite lucky. I was classed as one of the Islander kids, just because I was like a half caste, right? So I was like sort of taken under the wing and played the footy team and all that sort of stuff. Because those Aussie kids got bashed every day. Yeah. It was so terrible for them. But yeah, it was. I grew up in like Western Sydney, so it was like majority of the kids that we grew up around were Vietnamese, Lao, Cambodian, Korean, Chinese, stuff like that. And then we had out the bunch of Lebo kids in school. We had like a lot of the Islanders. There was a few Samoans, Tongans, stuff like that, right? So it was for me. I just grew up around a lot of Koreans, and then the internet cafe that I used to go and play at in Parramatta was owned by a really old Korean couple, and they sort of, I think they knew that I didn't really have like a very good home life. And they were always like really good to me. But like we used to walk upstairs, like us and all the boys, like me and Adam, and the really old Korean lady, when she used to like work at the counter, like we'd walk in, we'd be like, hello. And she'd be like, no. And we're like, what? We're like, hello. She's like, no. And we're like, oh, annyeonghaseyo. And she's like, good. Annyeonghaseyo. And then like, we weren't allowed to like speak English with her. So, and we like hung out with her son and all those types of things. So it was like, it was just, we grew up around a lot of Koreans. So I just enjoy Korea. And Korea is honestly my favorite place to go in the entire world. So it's unlike anywhere I've ever been. And the reason for that, I guess, is Korea is one of the only places that I've ever been to in the world. And Jack went there with me. And obviously I'm sure he might agree, is I've never been somewhere in the world where I legitimately feel if I had $100 hanging out of my pocket, brand name shoes on worth $500, like a gold bracelet, a gold chain, I've never once felt like if I was like drunk walking down the street, not that I drink, but you see it all over Korea. Like you'll see drunk teenagers and stuff like that, because where Jack and I stayed, we usually stay in a place called Hongdae, which is very much like the party area. But I've never felt unsafe in Korea. There's never a place where I've been where like, and I can't say the same. Never once have I felt like, sure, people get into fights and stuff over there, but it's like I've never felt like I'm going to get rolled or something like that, right? And one of the only places where we saw like a lot of like aggravated people was the Dongdaemun, which is like the white guy area, which is near the military camp, right? So it's like we went to that area once. I've only ever been there like once or twice during the nighttime, and it was like a lot of like Westerners getting into fights with other Westerners and stuff like that. And it's like, but Korea's always been like, and I can't say the same about Japan. I can't say the same about obviously a lot of places in America. I don't mean obviously, but I think you get what I'm trying to say, right? But like,
I'm agreeing. Obviously.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Korea is like the only place where I really felt like that. Europe was a really good place as well. Europe,
the only place I've ever been to where I have felt like that would be Singapore.
Yeah. Well, that's because if you do anything bad, they'll literally publicly whip you.
Yeah, well, that's the point.
Singapore's. I've been to Singapore as well, and Singapore was great. So yeah.
But in saying that, Singapore, you get bored very quickly in that country. Like, there's not as much to see and do as other Asian countries.
Yeah, no chewing gum. That's what it was for me.
Well, I was
a heavy
cigarette smoker when I went there last time, and trying to find somewhere where I could legally have a cigarette was so hard.
I imagine it would be.
Hey, you did sort of touch on your childhood a wee bit, and I don't want to go into that here because that's for a whole different show. But this actually does remind me of the show that you did with Vice. Now, I came across that. I think Jack actually told me about it, and when it came out, and I watched it, and that was an amazing show to watch. What I want to know is what was that experience like for you opening up, not just you weren't just opening up to your community, you were opening up to a very broad community. What was that whole experience like?
It
And I mean,
wasn't too bad for
anybody who hasn't seen it, check it out. The entire thing's on YouTube, right?
I think so, yeah. We recorded for a lot longer, but I think the Vice, because I have like a Draw Your Life video. I think that's about half an hour, and then I have the Vice one that we did, which goes for about sort of 10 to 15 minutes. I think we recorded for about an hour, and they just sort of chopped up and used what they wanted to use. It wasn't too bad. Like it was not the thing about my story, right? With my parents going to prison multiple times and sort of going through a lot of things. I say in my Draw Your Life video, like between the Vice one and that one, I don't really talk about the really bad stuff in either video. So there's like a lot of things, and now that my mum's passed and stuff like that, there's a lot of things that don't even need to be said. That I haven't put in those videos, right? Whether it be things that I've seen or things that I've been through, or things that maybe, whether it be something like, I don't know, one of mum's boyfriends growing up might have been really abusive or something like that. There's not really much need to talk about it now because it's past, right? It wasn't really like a hard thing for me to talk about, just because where I'm from and where I grew up, my story is not really that unique. You know what I mean? It's one of the big things that I always try and touch on is like, a lot of people say, "Oh, your life was so hard" and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, sure, it was. It was pretty rough, but like where I'm from and the boys that I grew up with, my life isn't that different than a lot of their upbringings, right? Sure, both of their parents might not went to prison at the same time or something like that, right? But that's just, it might be their mum is in lockup or their dad is in lockup or their two brothers are in lockup or something like that, right? It just is what it is, right? We don't live in a country where we have drive-bys and stuff like that every week. We don't, right? But if you're from like Mount Druitt or even from Para or Cabra or Campbelltown or something like that from Western Sydney, you probably have a few mates that have gone to prison. You probably got a few mates that have got in trouble for done things, or your parents might be in trouble or something like that, right?
I think for me, the reason I felt so touched by it is because I saw parallels to my own background and where I come from, and exactly the same as what you're saying. It's not a unique story for some people where they have come from, and definitely that's from me with my background as well. But I think what I loved about it is people from that background generally don't go and publicly talk about it. And that's what I thought was awesome about it, because I mean, other people that might be living in that sort of life or living in that bubble, because it is really a bubble. Once you get outside of that bubble, the world opens up. Being able to see that, you can come from that background or lifestyle or whatever and work your ass off and make some change in your life, and you don't have to be
Well, I think it's
be the
important to
product of
talk
your
about it,
background.
right? Yeah, I think
100%.
it's super important to talk about stuff like whether it be your experience or something that you've sort of gone through or something like that, right? Whether it's when I was sponsored with Razer in the past, we used to do 3 different campaigns, right? And one of them was we would go to rehabilitation centers with kids with autism, because they would use gaming as like a way of rehabilitation for the brain or something. I don't know if I'm using the right terms. If I'm not, I apologize. But they would like it triggers something different in the brain, so we would go and sit down with these kids and play games with them and stuff like that. And it just wasn't something that we're allowed to talk about much on social media. It was just a campaign that I made with them to do in my own time because I wanted to. And then the second one, we would go to high schools. This is mainly when I lived in Canada. When I was in the States, we would go to high schools and talk about cyberbullying and stuff like that, because it's such a big issue now. And then we'd like give out some Razer keyboards and mouses or whatever. And then the third one, which was like the big one for me, is we would go to like Big Brother and Big Sister programs, and we would go and spend time with kids that are in foster care, which is something that obviously I dealt with quite a bit growing up. And we would go and sit with these kids because whenever a kid enters foster care, they have to put on like a form what their interests are, right? Whether it be Minecraft or old school RuneScape or COD or Fortnite or whatever it is, right? And the kids that like listed gaming as an interest, we would go and sit with them and talk with them and just sort of hang out with them for a little while and give them like a keyboard or a mouse or something. And I think that like talking about your experiences and talking the things that you go through, certainly for me when I was a kid, if they ever like forced me to talk to someone, I would have a lot easier time talking to someone that looked like me and sounded like me, as opposed to like Norm Normandy, who just finished his like degree in social care, and he's doing all the right things in the world, but he's just like sort of turned up with his little like buttoned up shirt and his little pen and paper out trying to write down things. I personally growing up related better to someone that might look like the people that I've grown up around. So I've always tried to like help and do those types of things, right?
Just to sort of agree with you there. Like I know personally, when I dropped out of high school after only 2 years of high school and ended up smoking drugs and drinking and doing all the fucking shit and not really caring about a career or myself or anything. And it actually took, I did one of those, you guys would call it a TAFE course here. But so basically, it's a free community course that you go to try and get your shit together. And my tutor there was an ex-Black Power member, face tattoos and the same sort of attitude. And he didn't try and put on the whole professional tutor thing or anything like that. And it was him who helped me get my shit together because he looked like people I knew from where I came from. And he didn't try and talk to me like, a school guidance counselor. He was just trying to get you to work as a laborer or something, So yeah, totally, I 100% agree, and I think the work that you've done is amazing.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, the work you continue to do with charity stuff, the stuff we did last year with Are You Okay? And I've been around your stream for a while as well, and you're always very open with all of this and any questions people have, and always trying to push, if you are going through a rough patch, there are numbers to call, and even people in your community, if someone's having a rough day and they want to just have a chat, like there's someone in your community that will jump in Discord with them and have a chat. And I feel like you've built like a really awesome and like beautiful community around that. So,
well, I don't know how much I can say, but hopefully there is more stuff coming with Are You Okay soon. I obviously we've had the last few months have been pretty rough. Like we've lost, sort of 5 streamers in the last month or two due to suicide. Obviously, Reckful being probably the biggest one there in terms of like people knowing about it. But behind the scenes, there was people in the GTA RP community. There was 2 other streamers that took their life, and I personally have had a few people take their life. Yeah, like there's been people in my life that have taken their life recently as well. We had a kid from the local hardcore scene here in Sydney take his life very recently, and a lovely human being, loveliest kid you'll ever meet. Never in any trouble, never fighting anyone or anything like that. And obviously Corona and stuff play a big part of that, because whether it be just that little social interaction that he might have got at shows, that might have been all he needed, right? So I didn't feel right doing just like a one-off charity stream or like a one-off like mental health awareness stream. It didn't sit right with me again, because that's sort of what we always do, right? Like something could come up, we tweet about it for a couple of days, then we do a mental health awareness stream, or we do a one-off charity stream, and that's it. And money, I don't necessarily think is the thing right now that'll help people. I know that mental health needs more money and funding and stuff into it, but that needs more money from a government level, not from the $1,000 to $2,000 that I could raise in a week to give to them, right? They need a lot more funding than any streamer besides maybe like Pestily can give them, right? And even in saying that, right, that's a bit of a joke, but even Pestily like raising $1 million is like a drop in the water. You know what I mean? You need millions of dollars put into mental health funding.
Not to take anything away from what Pestily did, that was amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think anyone trying would, right? And so for me, I know we're talking with Are You Okay? They have something that they've put forward to me. We had a meeting about it the other week. And then now it's being sent off to like the health board or whoever that they need to get stuff approved by. So hopefully if that all goes okay, if it doesn't, they'll sort of counter it and say, okay, well, we'll adjust this. But hopefully there'll be something coming over the next few months, which will be more an ongoing thing,
Amazing.
which is what I'd like to do and try and raise awareness and stuff like that, right? So
That's awesome.
Looking forward to hearing
That's
more
really
about
cool.
it, dude.
yeah, me too. I'm hoping it all goes well. So
Yeah. All right. Now we should probably talk about some news before we start running out of time, Jack.
Yeah. I feel like we can talk to Ryan for ages about lots of
We
different
totally
things.
could. Totally could.
it's because I talk a
Actually,
lot of
I've
shit.
got one more question about this. Is actually to you two, both of you.
Oh.
What happened to Fully Cooked?
It's back on.
It's still
You
happening.
back?
Yeah,
Just
it's back on. It's on a
not
rotating
every
roster
week.
now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's the plug. So that goes out on your channel, right?
Yeah.
Ryan's
So
one, yep.
every second Tuesday now. So
Okay.
Yeah. I think every week was good, but it was like some weeks we'd get there and there literally nothing would happen in that week. And it was like we sort of did the show to have a laugh, talk about some news, talk about some weird shit that went down. And sometimes there's just a week where nothing happens. So it's like we were still trying to do the show, but we'd all just be trying to come up with stuff to talk about. And it was just, but the Fortnite thing I think is awesome because then you guys can do your WoW one and then we do the normal one. So I feel like it works a lot better.
It's quite hard as well, right? Obviously, right now, you already know what the news is going to be. You know that we're going to be talking about Corona because there's nothing else to, like, there is terrible other things that are happening around the world, but from like a day to day, and it's quite mundane, right? Like the last thing you want to do is turn on a stream and hear someone talk about Corona because no matter what you do in this world, you pretty much hear about it all day. But then it's like, okay, can you be completely non-real and not mention it or not talk about it when you're trying to have real life conversations, right? It's
true.
It's literally everyone's life right now is
if you don't want to hear about it, you can watch New Zealand streamers and get angry with them because they're going around licking each other's faces.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, not anymore.
Well, no, not anymore.
Not anymore.
All right, go to the news though.
Right. Yes. The first
Shroud.
thing that I thought we should talk about, I don't even know why, but this is again the same thing. It's like you talk about Corona and then you talk about Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, or Ninja.
Yeah. Well, let's start with Shroud. It's been a month of returns.
Yeah, that's true. But the main thing I wanted to talk about with Shroud is that, like, sure, he didn't really say anything besides a couple of GIFs on, Twitter, which, I don't know, everyone was sort of speculating pro return, streaming return, whatever. But he's back on Twitch officially. Yeah. And are we shocked about that?
Did they announce it today?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he's already streamed and everything.
Yeah. He streamed this morning for like a little bit, I think. But yeah, officially back. Twitch even tweeted about it and we're like, welcome back, dude.
Yeah.
Even though Ninja came back and they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
No, I think they said like
it's like a
welcome back or something to him.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think.
But they said welcome home to Shroud.
Woo. Yeah, welcome home. That's right.
That's a big one.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
Look, I love Shroud's stream. He is one of the nicest, most humble guys I've met. We met him multiple times at events, and he always takes the time to say hello to people. He's an alien. Like, you meet him, and he's the same as he is on stream. Like, hey, dude, like, he could literally win $1 billion, and you'd be like, hey, bro, are you excited? He'd be like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hello. Like, that's just how he is, right? Like,
he's almost an anomaly with Twitch. Like, you always hear, how to do well on Twitch is, high energy and all that sort of thing. And he's the exact opposite of what you would advise a Twitch streamer be.
The reason for that, though, in my opinion, is he is literally this is the way that I always sum up Shroud. He's the if you're a gamer, that's who you watch. Because you don't watch him to have a conversation. You don't watch him to see like him jumping out of his chair. You watch him because he is like, overall, in terms of like just pure FPS players, one of the best players that we will probably ever see. Yeah. Right there are better Counter-Strike players and all that sort of stuff before. He's not comments.
He's so much there to be an entertainer as he is to enjoy playing games, being fucking good at them.
Yeah, but again, you just watch him to be a freak, right?
You put like one of the top CS:GO players into PUBG, like their first map, and they won't adapt in most cases as well as Shroud.
Yeah,
like, and
that's what I mean. He's just a purely great FPS player. He just adjusts like very well.
Conversations about him at work, right, Jack, about how a new game would literally drop, and we would watch this guy within the first 10 minutes just owning everybody.
Yeah.
I remember he did there was a game that came out that was a battle royale game, not PUBG, and his first game he got a W and 38 kills.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just don't understand. Like he was like doing his first drop, first everything, and just lands and gets like 30 plus.
I'm pretty
bombs.
sure that was Ring of Elysium.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah,
I think it
like
was.
that.
Yeah, I think it was. And yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, I don't know. I've always said like since the doc went like or banned or whatever, and then like obviously Ninja and Shroud moved across. Like I always just in my mind like Shroud is a Twitch streamer. Like just the way his community's built and the way he streams. I don't know. I always just see him on Twitch. Whereas Ninja and Doc, if they went to Twitch, I'm like, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Just they've got the big YouTube channels as well.
I've said this before on stream. I think Shroud and Ninja had enough foresight to know that Mixer wasn't going to continue.
Yeah.
I know it's a big thing to say, but I personally think that they would have like looked at the numbers, looked at what was offered, and then I think deep down they would have gone, okay, we know that this platform isn't probably going to survive, but it doesn't matter. You can break your contract with Twitch, and you can still go back on the platform unless you get permanently banned.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that both of them, whether they wanted it to continue or not, like if they wanted Mixer to do well, who knows? I don't know. But I think that they knew that even if Mixer failed, they're going to get an insane payday, and then they can just go back to Twitch. And it's a very different story for one of those type of guys as opposed to. So I got an offer from like YouTube, and I got an offer from Mixer. Right, the one from Mixer was actually quite a good offer for someone of my level, and I said no because I'm not in a position like they are. Obviously, right? If they went to Mixer and they go to Mixer for a year and then their first stream back, they're going to be in the top 1% of most subscribed people. Their first stream, right?
Oh,
that's
easy.
That's not going to be the way that it goes for someone like me or like Jack or someone like that, right? We would go there.
You would sit more in sort of a Gothalion situation where he went over, it made a bit of noise for a couple of days, and then he sort of had to grind to get to the top of Mixer still.
Yeah. And so, I personally, I think that if I went to Mixer, I don't think I would have retained much of an audience at all. I definitely would have been the top WoW streamer, but I don't think that's saying all that much. To be honest with you, I think it was like their top average is like 70 viewers, right? So
you could be the top WoW Facebook streamer.
Yeah, true. Well, it's more. I don't think I would retain an audience if I came back. That's the thing.
After a year,
they can do, right? So
yeah.
Doc is a whole nother thing. I don't. I'm personally not going to be like blindly supporting him and watching his stream and stuff like that. I wasn't like a big Doc watcher in the first place, not because I didn't dislike his stream or anything. It was just he streamed when I was asleep, right? It was just time zone. But I know he came out and said that like the reason for his ban he still doesn't know. Like I've been doing this 8 years and I'm nowhere near as big as him, but I don't believe that. I do not believe that they permanently banned the biggest person on the platform, one of the biggest people on the platform, without telling him, and then he still doesn't know a month and a half later. I'm an adult. I don't believe you. Like I've worked in too many other like settings and too many other like things to understand that is not going to happen.
Interesting situation that the Doc's in here is he's able to, and he has taken advantage of the fact that Twitch are not going to talk because it's definitely a legal issue, right? For whatever reason, there's been something happened legally with their contract situation, and Twitch's legal advice will be do not talk about it. Stay silent.
There's a huge misconception right now. A lot of people are saying that YouTube have come out and bought him, and that's not true.
Not true.
No. YouTube has come out and said that he can stream on the platform. Whatever's going on behind the scenes, they don't know enough to either ban him or stop him from streaming, so they can't stop him. He's allowed to stream there. But people now have this illusion of, it must have been something from Twitch because YouTube has bought him to stream on that platform, which is not what's happening at all, right? But people don't take the time to research that. They just go, he's on YouTube now.
Smart move and gone to where his biggest numbers are.
Yeah.
Where he's about to go.
Yeah.
So, But like I was just about to say was he's made the smart move of taking advantage of the fact that Twitch aren't talking, and he's creating a narrative around that of I don't know. This is
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't believe that. I know he did like his little skit thing where he like took the glasses off, but the glasses are still there, and made like a funny voice and was like, "You guys are going to pretend like I know what's going on, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just can't. Yeah, it doesn't make
The dude is a smart businessman.
100%. Yeah, he's very, very good. Very, very good. The character he portrays is very good. Everything like that. Like he has, production staff. He has everything. He's in a position of to do whatever he wants in terms of like streaming, and he'll do very well. I think his like first stream back, he made probably thousands and thousands of dollars. I know he peaked at like some insane number of views. He'll do very well no matter what he does, right? But I personally, I just can't like bro, and I'm not trying to say that this is what he was doing or anything. He could have been like selling African kids to Mexico. We don't know, right? And until it's like addressed a little bit, I don't deserve an answer, and I certainly don't think that like I made a meme video about it. I don't think Twitch needs to come out legally and say anything. But now that he's back streaming, I'd like to see him address it.
Yeah.
Right. Just because it's like he's taking the plunge again to start streaming again, and he might not need to. He might just ignore it and just move on. So
I don't think we're going to see anything until whatever legal proceedings between the doc and Twitch happen, which is going to happen. I have no doubt. And that at that case, at that point is when things will start becoming public because that's how the American legal system works. And that'll be once we start finding out.
Slasher will be straight on it.
100%.
Oh, maybe. He didn't.
Well, Slasher already claimed that he knew what it was, but he can't say anything legally. So
yeah. If it's all true, like, and no one can say it must be something pretty wild, or it could simply just be a contract breach or contract.
I've heard everything, man. I've heard.
Of course,
people saying there was some like huge fraud case. I thought it might have been to do with like the whole Netflix thing because he was talking about for months that he's like, I'm doing something with Netflix. I'm doing something with Netflix, and Netflix
true.
pay like. I personally think he could get like a $15 million contract from Netflix. There is comedians that don't pull his numbers at all, not even close to his numbers.
Well, there was rumor going around that he'd pitched a TV show.
Yeah, something like that.
So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. But while we're talking about the doc being a brilliant marketer and brilliant strategist, Rogue Company. What's been going on with that? I think this is absolute genius from a marketing point of view. As a marketer in the video game industry, he is playing to this audience so well. So if you haven't seen what's happened, yesterday on stream, he was playing Rogue Company, which does look like a dope game, by the
way. I bought it. It's unless they're going to pay me, then it's sick. But until then, it's all right. It's honestly not too bad. It's worth like the $20.
Yeah. But on stream, he was like, "Oh, I think I can make a good map for this." Blah 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 blah. Tweets them instantly. They respond. Yep, you've got 24 hours to come up with a map. Because I mean, of course, he was a game developer, a map designer back in the day for Call of Duty. And then 24 hours later, he's got a map designed. Do we believe that was all organic and real?
Well, for a long time he's claimed that like he's looking for like games to make stuff in. Like for COD, he's very vocal about a lot of the games that he plays. Right? I think that was one of like whether it's like a shtick that he does. Like obviously, if you've watched him play Fortnite, and I've seen clips of him playing Fortnite, he's just not that good. But then he'll like rage and say that it's the game's fault and all that sort of stuff, right? Like he's a good gamer. He's much better than I am. But compared to these like 15-year-old kids that are building the fucking Taj Mahal in 4 seconds, right? Dude. Like it's he's just not that good at it as opposed to them, right? But then he'll yell about the game and play the game and blame the systems within the game. A lot like I do. I do the same shit on my stream, right? I'll get angry about the game and I'll say it's the game's fault when I'm just whiffing. So I think that maybe Rogue Company was a game that he may have just organically tried. It's a weird one for him to organically try though, because it's not really like.
But he does have hashtag rogue partner in all of his tweets.
And that was exactly what I was going to say. Like in the live stream, he was like, "Oh, fuck it, hashtag rogue partner," as if he didn't have to put it in.
But that's still not ad though, right? He would still have to put ad unless the YouTube thing is different.
I don't think
legally he'd have to put ad, right?
I don't think you have to. You just have to legally. What you have to do is just be transparent about the fact that you are working with that company. You don't have to use ad. So when we've worked with previous companies, like Intel was a really good example. We had Intel guest and Intel partner was what we had to use from a global level when we used to work with Intel.
I think it's more about being like transparent about it, and if someone's putting hashtag rogue partner in their tweet of his level,
in the original tweet?
To me, to me, that's saying this is a paid partnership between us. So in the original tweet, where was it? He goes, the arena. Oh, what is Rogue Company? Come to find out. Hashtag Rogue Partner. He's like, hey, Rogue Company, I like this game. Let me design a map. I'll bring the violence speed momentum with the design. Easy guarantee. Hashtag Rogue Partner. Then they've come back to them and gone, that's a big hell yeah 2-time. I know you designed it. I know you designed levels in 1997. Think you can walk back in, blah, blah. You've got 24 hours. With the gif of him.
Even the conversation of like even the conversation between the two seems a little bit like not organic as well. You know what I mean?
Even the way the tweet's written,
you've got 24 hours
like this, and then the spacing, and then the part. It's like someone in our position who's working with Rogue Companies gone, this is how the tweet sequence will go. And
I mean, I guess that's an example, and I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus here, but there was a tweet recently within Australia that was like a sponsored tweet from a few gamers, and some of my friends were in the video, but the company themselves tweeted out, "We couldn't have said it any better," right? But then you watch the content creators that were in the video, and like, this is my script. They were literally like this. Thank you for purchasing this. Thank you for watching and stuff like that. Like, and then you read the comments and you're just like, yeah, you couldn't have said it any better because you did say it. Like, they're blatantly reading a script. Like, and it didn't go well. The tweet, I only saw a few of the replies, but yeah, it's like.
So personally, I think the doc's been working on this with the developers of Rogue Company for a while. I think it's signed, delivered. The map's already in development.
Something like this is probably just like.
On it. He probably is working on it because the dude, it's his qualification.
He knows what's up.
Trade.
Yeah.
I imagine they probably had something that was going to go forward with him when the game first launched.
Yeah.
Is what my opinion would be. I think that they probably had this all planned back then, but then obviously the last month has happened. And then, they just had to sort of wait until he's back streaming again, gives it a couple of days, then they move forward with the contract. They still pay him X amount of billions probably, and then give him a map. Right.
Either way, I don't even care how you look at it. Like, the way it's been done, and the marketing behind it, and even just the comments. Like, everyone knows that it's a paid thing. Like, everyone knows that it's probably been in the works for a while. But, like, it's still just cool. And, everyone's just like, let's go. Like everyone's just, like, super hyped. And even other people, already the best map, and it's not even his own yet. Think about it. Hashtag Rogue Company. Like, even just people that follow his stream are like, it's still sick. I'm going to use the hashtag. I'm going to get involved as well. Like, I think that's kind of why I like watching him. Because no matter how organic or planned it is, it's still always sick.
Yeah.
And it's always always really well done. So it's it's paid. And it's probably been planned for the 6 months. But it's still really cool. So whatever.
Only weird campaign that he's ever done, which even as a pro wrestling fan myself, I found really hokey, was the one that he did with the WWE and Game of Fuel.
Yeah.
That was such a
grabbing
weird
each other on the neck and shit.
Yeah, it was
such a big guy, I think, though, right? He's like 6'7" or something like that, right? So
yeah,
like a big dude.
6
Apparently,
foot 8.
I have heard that there was supposed to be, before coronavirus happened,
yeah,
there's supposed to be a crossover on WrestleMania where he was.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
the
I
Doc
heard that as well. Yeah.
was apparently going to walk out and take on the Undertaker.
That would have been pretty wild to see, though.
Oh, it would be amazing, especially like you said, with the height he's built. Like he would be believable as a wrestler. Even his whole character is very WWE.
Yeah.
Then they just rip his mustache off and his.
I was gonna
hair
say, old mate just goes and pulls his
Yeah.
glasses and everything off, but for somehow he's got glasses and a
Yeah.
wig in the headset under that one. Oh, fuck it hell.
Yeah, no, it's
been
yeah,
amazing.
like I think that it sort of says something for his audience though, right? Like they will back anything that he does, right? And that's what you
Yeah.
want as a streamer.
100%.
And he's just on a bigger platform, right?
He's one of the few people though who are going to, or who has taken their audience from Twitch over to YouTube. Like that just doesn't happen. Usually,
you have to give that time though, right? I don't think you can say that yet. I think that there's too much hype around him right now. You'd have to give that a few months, right? Because I've seen people do like, you see people do a stream on YouTube and get 900,000 viewers, and people go, "Oh my god, that's what every one of his streams going to be like." And then you watch it the next day and they've got 8,000 views. Nothing to laugh at, but it's not 900,000.
Ninja Mixer.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the
True.
thing. Like you look at someone like what's it, Disguised Toast or Disgusting Toast or whatever it was. He went to Facebook Gaming. First couple of streams popped off. Then he was averaging 1,000.
Yeah.
Right. You look at people that are crossed over to YouTube now. They do really, really well. You look at even Ninja, like you said, he did really well on YouTube for a couple. Now he's back on Twitch, right? I think it's just you need to give that more time. You can't just go, he's going to average this all the time. 3 months from now, let's see what numbers he's getting.
I do think he is, out of everybody who has made the jump from one platform to the other, he's probably got the best shot at being able to do it.
Yeah, maybe it's a character. I think Ninja had a better shot at doing it. Personally, I think that Ninja would retain more. Yeah.
Like he literally, like he was making a point, I believe.
Ninja?
I think Ninja went onto YouTube, did a stream to sort of show both Twitch and YouTube, hey, look, I can stream for an hour and pull this sort of numbers. Gone.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, I think it was just maybe working out contracts still. Just depends on how much money, right? Like, if they could offer you some insane contract, why wouldn't you? Right? Like, why wouldn't you just take it? So,
or you could just be a rapper who's just retired and get paid 7 figures and do one stream.
Yeah, that blew my mind. I also want to know about that. If Logic announced his album, it's weird that we still can't play it. He announced his album on stream, live on Twitch,
and
we
played
still
it.
Can't watch it, and you can't watch the VOD on stream. You can't watch clips because you get DMCA'd because the album that he released was still under Warner Brothers Music.
Yeah.
So,
and saying that, I did just get an update this week that it looks like Twitch is going to be signing publishing deals with all the majors.
I hope so.
So this could all be over very soon.
But well, people have already, like, the amount of people that have like relaxed already. I made a tweet about it the other day. It blows my mind. Like we watched someone last night. That night we were just watching a stream, and they were playing. I think it was Miskiff. Someone linked it to me, and he was playing not only the top 100, he was watching the videos for the top 100 on stream with 10,000 viewers. And it's like there's either something that's going on with a few streamers. Like I know Soda's been playing like just copyrighted music. I know there's a few others. Like they either know about something or that we don't, or
So like it could be a very similar deal to the deals that we've done with Warner and Australian streamers as well. Like we have gotten the rights for Australian streamers to play particular songs because Warner Music is promoting them.
Yeah, but is that like just a one-off thing though? That's what I'm saying, right? It's like a one-off, one artist.
Like one stream or like a week long. But that doesn't even cover the artist's music. It covers the artist's song, whatever they're like specific.
A year ago, we did a deal with Warner Music, which was an entire Spotify playlist that we were promoting.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's any of the labels that are like a half got a clue. Like you look at Unified from Australia, they made a playlist called like Unified Twitch, and you can play any artist that's on there because people have this massive illusion. Like even with the North Lane boys, right? They used to be on Unified, and it's like we can play X album, X album, X album from Northlane, but there's another album that we can't play. And if you play that, you're breaking copyright law. And people just don't understand, right? And I tried to explain this yesterday on stream as well, where there's an artist that I like called Addy Suleiman, and he's on Perma Records. They're called Perma. And someone was like, oh, you can play it though, because that's just a small label. And then you look into it, and Perma Labels is under Sony Music. So people either don't understand or they don't take the time to like look at these sort of labels, because they'll see like, oh, they're just some small label called, I don't know, like you could call it Jack Hutto Records. Yeah. And then they go, oh, I can play anything under Jack Hutto Records. They're not going to flag me for it. But then Jack Hutto Records is actually under Warner Brother Music. And so it's that umbrella thing. And then if you play their stuff, you're fucked, right? So if people just aren't taking the time.
YouTube will tell you, you can't play something that is anywhere loosely linked to UMG.
Yeah. Whether it be UMG, Warner Brothers Music, Sony, anything like that, just it's not worth and people are just not caring anymore. Whether it be Aussie streamers, whether it be people from New Zealand, whether it be US streamers, Europe streamers, the amount of people that I tune into, and it just because no one's talked about it for a week, they are just playing whatever they want again. It blows my mind, because we know that live strikes are coming. Like they said on Twitch, they interviewed them. They said, what's the deal? They did that thing with DJ Wheat, and they were like, live strikes are 100% coming. It's going to happen, right? And then people just, whatever.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, you've had warnings in the past as well, right? For live strikes.
I got a flag for playing. There was a clip of me that went viral. And that in that clip, Maroon 5 was playing.
Yeah.
So because our VODs get muted and stuff like that for the most part, but people again, like, they're not understanding that they only need a second. Yeah. So if there's like a second where it's not muted, that's all they need to strike you, right? Like
there is a false belief that you can play up to 5 seconds of a song and not get a strike.
Yeah, which is completely untrue.
Completely untrue.
That's wild. Well,
all right.
I was going to talk about Fall Guys, but we spoke about it last week anyway, and that's just wild. I just sort of wanted to know, they got like new maps coming out and new skins and stuff, and potential brand deals coming in. Like I've seen people making skins for streamers because Fall Guys were asking about it, and like KFC Gaming and all these other brands are jumping on board and stuff like that. Do you think like this is gonna be one of those games that's gonna have like longevity on Twitch and YouTube and streaming and stuff like that, or is it gonna sort of just be super hyped and then just go, eh?
I think I definitely think it'll drop off, right? Like I'm already a little bit over it. Like I played the first few matches, but I maybe it's just I'm not that type of gamer. But I can see people loving it, right? Like you said, you play with a different group of friends, it's a different experience. But there's definitely fun moments and definitely fun things you can do in it. I certainly couldn't do like an 8-hour Fall Guys stream.
Yeah.
Unless it was like, I don't know, maybe if I was being paid or something, but like I wouldn't do like a 6-hour, 5-hour Fall Guys stream. I could play it for like an hour or two.
Basically, this entire show is Panda going, hey, if you want to pay me to play something.
Yeah. No, but I played it. I played it a lot already. You know.
Listen,
what I mean?
we got Carl's Juniors to order.
That's it. I got bills to pay. But no, it's like I personally, like, I try and play a lot of games. Like, I probably play more games than most people. Yeah. Random shitty games. Like, Jack will come over and I've got 90 games on my desktop. I try, like, every early access game that, like, it has any sort of interest to me. Every early access game, every, like, free-to-play game that comes out on Steam. I try all the massive multiplayer ones, all the ones that have, like, MMO, RPG in their tag. I download them for a couple of hours, play them. So, like, I definitely just love games, but, like, I just can't see myself playing Fall Guys for the next 3 months as a full-time game. No, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
No. I'll buy, like, skins and stuff. Like, it'll be hype, and I'll buy a couple of the packs and enjoy it, but it's, I'm just not going to – I don't see myself being like, okay, I need to play this every single day.
Yeah. Fair. Very fair. Well, that was pretty much all the news anyway. All the stuff that I saw that I wanted to talk about. But we have one question here for you.
All right.
Because I wanted to see if there's anyone out there. And it
Imagine
comes from
if you did this interview tomorrow and I got to tweet out that you need.
Yeah, I know.
Today.
Well,
can you imagine?
Then this show would be heaps longer than what it is. So I feel like it's fine. Just one quick one in the end there. We're good.
Okay, sure.
I think it's a quick one, but it's from Mother Buckin or Connor on Twitter, and he says, if you could or had to start streaming again from the beginning, what would you do differently, and what would you keep the same? Or would you change anything up? Would you still just do it the same way, or
if I'm honest with myself, I would probably allow my chat to be a lot more free, and I would just build a complete spammy. The term that people use is like, I don't like the term, but they use like spammy chat. I don't like the term at all.
beep
but
that out?
I would, yeah. I would definitely have more of just like a loose chat, because look, at the end of the day, there's maybe one streamer in the entire world that has kept his chat very, very, very like clean, very like business savvy and all those types of things, and it's still insanely active, and that's probably Co Carnage. Right? He's the one guy who is, and Co swears more than me. We've hung out in real life. He drops more C bombs than I do in real life, and I'm bloody live in Australia. Like, he's very, very smart, very business savvy, very everything, and his channel has grown like that and has done really, really well. But for the most part, the whole sort of like spammy meta for streamers works. It does. It really does. The whole spammy, like, of course, your community would not be the same, and I wouldn't change my community for the world, right? I love the community that we have and all those types of things. But I feel like for me, I'd probably just let the chat be a bit more loose, and maybe not be as like not necessarily like time out people as much or anything like that. But like, I don't allow jokes about like cancer and AIDS and stuff like that in my chat, and I still wouldn't allow that. But you can still allow like the spam, right? When people are just spamming stupid stuff, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be.
I've seen you reprimand your chat before.
Oh, 100%. I love it. I love it. I love having a good old, someone has a crack and then I'll have a crack back. So if you come into my chat and act like a dickhead, I'll tell you you're a dickhead. So
fair enough.
It is what it is.
I tell you, the other thing I love that you regularly do, bro, is your rants on Twitter.
Yeah, I love a good rant.
Yeah, especially when the whiteboard comes out. Like, you know some serious shit's about to go down when the whiteboard comes out.
It's quite funny. I get to do a lot of like events, obviously, around the world, and it's very funny to me about like, with all my videos on Twitter, it's hands down my most requested thing for me to do, besides probably like Mr. Chow or something like that. But it's like the people that will request it will be like CFOs of companies that'll come up to me in like their business suit and stuff. And they're like, you should make more of those videos. And I'm like, what are you promoting them? They're like, I can't do that. Hell no. No, you're completely unbusiness worthy in those, but they're great. But like, it's always.
They're the people that love them the most. The ones who can't talk about it, but they can watch it.
You know, we need to organise next time we're allowed to do a PAX and actually be in the same bloody hall as someone is. Panda TV on stage with the whiteboard, just going loose.
Yeah, just ranting about stuff.
Yeah.
Are they doing PAX stuff this year? I don't think me and Brendan have been invited to anything yet.
No, PAX is all online this year.
So PAX online.
It's global, it's a global PAX online.
Yeah.
There you go.
So virtual walkthroughs and tours, and probably just Discord channels you can chat with people in and video chat or whatever. So I think they're still doing panels and stuff, but everyone will obviously join.
I don't really get invited to many panels these days anymore. I don't know. I'm just an old man. Old man WoW streamer sitting in my own section.
Yeah, I was having a whinge on my stream the other day about this, and this is entitled Fid. I was having a whinge about how in Australia and when I've gone to other places, I always get invited to do panels and talks and things like that. You know, I've never done a panel in New Zealand. No one in New Zealand, my home country, has ever asked me to talk on a panel.
That's pretty funny though.
Been to almost every.
That is a little bit funny.
Well, that's the same for me though. I get invited to like every PAX that's overseas. I get invited to come and do, and they'll be like, "Hey, we'll even fly you over. Like, come and do this talk for our company." And then like in Australia, I'll get hit up like last minute, like in the last week, and it'll be like, hey, can you come and talk on these 5 panels where we need you, like, and it'll be like in the last 4 days coming up to PAX where.
But we spent all our money. We have no budget.
There was a couple of years ago that you came up to us, both me and Jack, and you're like, how come you didn't ask me to do this?
Yeah. People, I think people just forget sometimes. They're like, maybe I'm just too old now. Just too old. Live me little streaming bubble. I got to start playing Fortnite.
I think for the case of when the thing that you asked to be on, it was actually at PAX you asked us about it too, was we didn't ask you because we didn't know if it was a conflict with the sponsors you already had.
Oh, I can't even remember what it was. So
I don't remember either.
I haven't thought about it since then. But maybe now I'll dwell on it. Thanks for bringing it up, Sid.
Now that was when we got you on stage for Lenovo.
Oh yeah. Maybe that time you sent me to Berlin.
Oh, mate.
and then
we've spoken about that multiple times.
I remember the time I sent you to
and then he gets there and you're like, oh yeah, it's a mobile thing. And Ryan's like, what?
And then also the best part is the laptop wasn't coming out in Australia. That was my favorite part. We need you to
and there was no internet, so you couldn't stream.
I was going to say 3 days straight about FID. They still haven't gotten me any 4G yet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I got sent over there to stream and then couldn't stream.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That was a perfect example of we can plan and do everything from our end here in Australia, but once you get over there to another country, if
we're not there,
yeah.
Every time we've been there, it's always been fine with whatever we're doing, but it's the ones that we're not there.
We understand what it's like to be the content creator, whereas when we send people overseas, it's not always a deal that we get to go over and make sure everything goes well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get flown over there and you're in the hands of an international marketing executive or something, and they just don't understand the needs that people have.
Yeah. Good time though. I had a great time. So
yeah, well, I've still haven't been to Germany. I've sent so many people over to that bloody event.
It's too far. You don't want to go anywhere. It's too far. It is too far in a damn plane. You don't want to be in it's too far. It's like 28 hours in the air or something like that. I was
supposed to go to Gamescom this year.
Oh,
and that too far.
Rona. The Rona got you.
Yeah. Rona.
Well, this has been a longer show. I want to just keep this one a bit short because I know Ryan's got a stream soon. I was like, we'll do a quick one. And I was like, well...
Your bloody chips are cold.
Well, my food's still at my front door. 40 minutes ago, I was like, I don't care.
Chicken's ate it.
I was going to go get it, and I was like, I'll just put it in the microwave. It'll be shit house, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, it is what it is.
All right, let's wind it up. Ryan, where can people find you online?
Panda TV on Twitch, Panda TV OCE on all other social media. I'm pretty much always online. I stream way too much.
Yeah, and you got anything else you want to play while you're at it?
Nah.
Panda and Nat's OnlyFans.
Nah, she wants to make one, but I won't. I can ask her, babe, you want to make an OnlyFans? She said, coming soon.
Oh my god!
So I tried to start an OnlyFans and just pictures of me feet, but Jack wouldn't come over and take photos of me diabetic feet.
Yeah, no.
They're real crusty and stuff too because I got
not a chance.
Come on, Jack.
Angel Melly, her OnlyFans is literally just photos of her feet, and she got to like the top 1% in Australia just selling photos of her feet.
It's big money.
Yeah,
big money in it. People laugh and stuff like that, but I bet she's making bank.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
while you're out there giving Panda a follow, you can follow us online as well. You can find me on everything at Fid McAwesome and at Jack Hutto to follow Jack on everything.
Yeah.
Or you can follow GoToGame at GoToGame on Twitter, goto.game on Instagram or on Facebook. Just look up GoToGame and you'll find us. And of course, you can check us out on our website, www.goto.game. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. Always a pleasure.
Not a problem.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see everybody else next week.
Mm-hmm.